This is verse 12 of the 22nd chapter, Gospel of Matthew. We're in the latter part of the parable. Jesus tells about the king who threw a wedding, and the feast was ready to be celebrated, but the original invitees declined to come and face the wrath that was appropriate, and now others are brought in from the highways and byways is the idea, and now we have an example of one person who came in not properly attired. And so the story continues. Kai, the connective lege, he says, third person singular, present active indicative, auto, indirect object, dative masculine singular. He says to him, that is to this individual who was not properly attired. This is the king addressing him. Hetaira, this is a word that's usually translated friend, but it means friend in a somewhat distant way. It's the word that Jesus used when he addressed Judas, who was about to kiss him in the Garden of Gethsemane. Friend, do you betray me with a kiss, is the idea. To sometimes rendered something like comrade, a rather distant word, certainly not implying close friendship. So that's the word here. The king addresses him formally. Friend, pos, indeclinable adverb, how, eseothes, from Ace Aelthes, this is from Ace Erchomai, it's the second person singular, aorist active indicative. How did you enter, Hoda, indeclinable adverb here. May echo not having, present participle now, so you enter not having. Induma, this is the word for clothing, in this case it's the clothing gamu of the wedding. You don't have the proper attire. It suggests that somehow he got in, not receiving at the door the customary attire, which would be worn by the guests. And of course that puts him in a very awkward position, and it's reflected in the response. So ho, this is the article, but it sometimes functions as a pronoun, and that's the idea here. So, but ho, he, ephimothe, he was muzzled. Literally, it's the word for muzzle is the root of it. He was speechless. He was unable to respond in any way. It's the third person singular, aorist passive indicative. And so there he is, caught in this situation with no proper response. And of course, the picture that Jesus seems to be painting for us is that even within the community, the visible community of faith, there are going to be those who don't have the proper attire. We've mentioned before there's a fair amount of dispute about what that attire is. If you incorporate the entire New Testament, then you come up with the idea of the imputed righteousness of Christ. That's certainly a legitimate idea. Given Matthew's emphasis, I think it might be closer to say simply the parallel in terms of what Jesus is teaching is that these are people who are in the community but not of it. They're not living in the faith that is incumbent upon Christian people. They're not living according to the rules set down by Jesus. That they are in fact not clothed in any visible sense with the proper indication that they belong in this community. And of course the consequences are not uncertain, as Jesus will paint the picture here.